Yeah, sure. Thanks, Rajesh. I think quite a bit can be done for the corporates at this stage. Of course, the government is also doling out packages in order to address unemployment issues and, to make sure people are not deprived of their daily essentials. And so therefore, everything just, goes back to the financial stimulus and how much cash the government is able to collect. But if we notice, in the times of prosperity, in any case, corporates pay up but when times are bad, and when corporates are anyway, trying to go out of their way to support their employees, trying to see how much they can work from home, there are many ways in which the government can look at providing relief. One of the ways that it can be done is, permit a system of carryback of losses. I think Nishit Bhai talked about that briefly, and Shipra also talked about how Netherlands has actually tried to implement a carryback for 80% at least. There should be a system in which where if corporates are paying taxes in 1 year, then at least in a force majeure event like this, they at least for 1 or 2 years they should have an ability to carry back their losses and set off against the profits of the last year and bring out the appropriate compliances for that. Refunds should be accelerated. We saw how the government is, trying to, make sure that there is no cash crunch in the economy. But for that, refunds need to be accelerated. What we would have also actually ideally liked to see that there is no interest which is levied on delayed payments of advance tax or TDS, but maybe, if there is another set of measures that is announced by the government, the government will look into this as well. Also, what is important is, when companies and corporates are spending a lot in CSR, and it's already been announced that COVID-related expenses should be regarded as CSR expense, there should be appropriate tax deduction which should be available for the corporates for such CSR expense. And in addition, for expenses which do not necessarily amount as CSR. So, for example, if employees are working from home and there is expenditure in providing laptops and increasing, the level of technology where it amounts to either security or for bed-based working, corporates should be given at least 100% deduction for these extra expenses and these extraordinary expenses which are being incurred in times like these. I think the other part which really needs to be thought about is that, we just saw that the finance bill was passed by the Lok Sabha with quite a bit of changes which had been made to the budget that had been announced. And one of the important changes that had been done is for, TDS, which has been applied on e-commerce operators. And this is something which, the government should look into on a very active basis. Currently, what the law is saying as per the finance bill passed by the Lok Sabha is that e-commerce operators will need to withhold tax at 1% of the gross value of all sales which are conducted through the platform. And even though the cash does not really move through the platform, and in today's times, we are talking about e-commerce, platforms trying to bring goods and essentials to the doorstep of individuals. To really add a 1% TDS when there's already cash crunch, and that too when the platforms are not really keeping the cash with themselves, it's going to be quite draconian. And I think, Rajesh, maybe you can talk a little bit about that and also, talk about, some of the other measures which you think should be done from a corporate perspective, so we can complete the discussion on the corporate side.
Sure. So let me just add in one point on the e-commerce before I just look at some of the other things which the government can do, is that today there is a mismatch between what the RBI is saying in terms of payment settlement mechanisms versus what the tax authorities think in terms of how TDS should apply or withholding tax should apply for e-commerce players. I think currently, as things stand right now, there is a mismatch between the two, and that needs to be rectified. Is this the right time for actually introducing a TDS? The answer is not really. So that's something they do need to look back at to see whether they should push it out by a few months, at least at this point in time. The other thing is that when it comes to corporates, the key here is that pretty much for the next few months, you're talking cash is king. Cash has effectively become king. So you're looking at how do you best improve the liquidity situations for corporates. Some out of the box solutions in terms of what some other governments have done is to see whether you can create a business stabilization fund. In the past, we have seen the government has set up institutions which act as credit enhancement agencies. Maybe bring about a business stabilization fund concept, which will effectively act as a guarantor in order to increase or provide credit enhancement for new loans which are being taken by MSME or by corporates. I think that's something which the government should seriously consider. They've done something similar when they said that, for example, the housing fund, when we are going through the housing crisis, we've set up the NIF housing fund, which will provide last mile financing. A similar concept in terms of saying that when we get out of the lockdown, can we establish a business stabilization fund which will act towards backstopping some of the corporates or MSME in respect of corporate finance? I think that's one aspect that they should consider. Obviously, issues like suspension of interest or no penalties or circulars essentially providing for no penalties for delayed payment should ideally be issued, just so that we don't run into that issue that at the end of all of this, we just have a whole bunch of tax litigation. That's something that we definitely will want. The RBI has acted in terms of loan repayment forbearance. That was very critical in order to ensure that NPAs were not created. So that's something that's great. But there are, again, the idea behind all of these measures, whether what the RBI is doing or what the finance ministry ought to be doing, is around improving the working capital and improving the liquidity situation as far as corporates is concerned. Providing early refunds or providing refund of input tax credits. These are all measures which the government should definitely look at. I think there are two other points that I would make before I will hand it over to Nishit for any final remarks. One is that over the last 2 or 3 years or 5 years, we've all been around how do you plug various tax loopholes, how do you get in the multilateral instrument, how do you increase the tax base. So there have been a number of different actions which have been taken, which have taken place, both at a global level and also at a national level. I think this is the time when you actually slow down on some of those actions, because the focus at this point in time has to be on growth rather than increasing the base significantly. I think that's one broader macro aspect that needs to be kept in mind in terms of how to approach tax policy, at least over the next year or 2 years, because all said and done, while this may end up being only a 2-month disruption, but it can extend up to, we don't know, it can go up to a 4-5-month disruption. But the fact of the matter is that it has changed how you would actually view things, even from a medium and long term. So that's something that the FM has to tread with caution in terms of the rapid changes which have happened from a tax policy standpoint. The second aspect is, which I should say, is that when this also ultimately, when things settle down, hopefully sooner rather than later, this will also provide opportunities. Corporates are going to relook at their supply chain. They will move away from single country risk or try to ensure that there is no concentration in just one jurisdiction, just so that their supply chains don't get interrupted. This is going to provide opportunities. It's going to provide opportunities for the manufacturing sector. It's going to provide opportunities for the services sector. So the government should, while trying to manage the immediate situation, also think of long-term opportunities which are going to come out of this, whether in terms of how to ensure that there is a ease for companies to set up manufacturing plants or so companies in India. I think those are all aspects which the companies do have to, which the government does have to look at as a broader thesis. I think with that, let me take a pause and bring in Nishit for any concluding remarks. And Nishit, I know that there's one more point before we actually that is probably close to your heart, both in terms of CSR and in terms of innovation fund, and how the whole this how the government can also look at specific aspects around it. So, would love to hear your thoughts on that before we actually close.